if that tag hits on any other cameras, it'll alert the police, and they can try again and make the traffic stop. Another thing that the police can do, and what Detective Robbins did, was look up vehicles registered to the defendant. She finds that Dodge Journey that the defendant drove to dispose of Quinton's body, and she puts it into the flock system, looks it up in the database to see what, if any, flock cameras that vehicle has hit on anytime recently. And she sees that that car has been out late at night, driving around on trips that the defendant hasn't mentioned yet. She radios that information, or maybe calls via phone. This is the tag she looks up. That's the Dodge Journey in the driveway at the time of the police response. She calls Lieutenant Foster, who you'll hear from. This is after the defendant has told Wilkins she went to bed at midnight and woke up at 9, hasn't mentioned anything about the Orville trip or the Azalea trip. Foster goes up to her. He now has this information that this tag has been hidden on some flock cameras. He seems to have been driving around during the night. And he goes up to her, and he's a lieutenant at this point, which is like kind of a managerial type position. He's, by this time, is the senior man on scene, I believe. But he has background in investigations. He was with the Savannah Police Department, I think, at one point, in their violent crimes unit, investigating homicide. So he knows his way around an investigation. He knows how to do these sort of things. He goes up to her armed with this information about the flock hits.
I said I'm not going to comment to you anymore. I'm doing this video about this.
He wants to know what these trips were about. So he goes up to her and he asks her, "Did you go anywhere last night?" And he's a savvy guy, so he's careful to tack on, you know, like where the kidnapper could have followed you home. And she seems to know, the evidence will show that she seems to know that he knows something about this trip to Azalea that she took and has not mentioned to this point. And so she comes up with a story. It's not totally clear when she came up with it. But the story is that, that trip that I took away from my house shortly after 1 a.m., that was to go pick up Oragel from a friend at the Chevron. Now the Chevron is right next to Azalea Mobile Home Plaza. They're kind of right next to each other. And so that's her story.
I didn't even read what you said because I said I was done with it, so I don't. Keep talking. Have fun.
This is what she was doing, driving to that location at that time. My tooth was bothering me. I didn't have any Oragel. I went to pick some up, got some from a friend. This is the first appearance of the Oragel story, which lasts for about a week.
This is also now the second story she told. I believe there's 4 or 5, but this is all now the second bullshit story she's told.
Maybe a week and a half.
Did y'all go anywhere last night or yesterday with that maybe he could have followed you or something? Did y'all go anywhere? No, just you made you yourself.
Thank you, Miller. Have a good night.
2 o'clock yesterday afternoon? No, like 1 o'clock. I couldn't go to sleep. Okay, so where'd you go? Right up the road right here, got Chevron. Got my friend that used to work with me. She got ordered because they didn't have any circle code at home. Okay. Did you go anywhere else? Have you made that call? So when did you get home? I can say exactly.
Like, there's no way, like, literally no way this girl can get out of this. Like, they've got so much evidence on her, and so many times that she's lied. Like, I don't see any way that she can get out of this. I just don't see any way.